Madagascar, more like Happy Diesel Bike, am I right? All right, Deadman is a old school RuneScape game mode that's coming very soon on January 30th. So, in this video, here's what I'm going to do. I could ramble for 45 minutes. I could read this top to bottom and explain to you everything you need to know, because that's what this blog post is. So I could do everything you need to know about the everything you need to know. I'm going to just focus in other specific areas, mainly on the Sigils power-up unlock thingies. The very quick overview, if you don't know what Deadman mode is or why you should play it. Number one, you should play it because it will be fun. Here's the concept that some people don't realize. Not everything needs to be efficient or it needs to be balanced or this or that. If you log in and you have fun, mission accomplished, okay? Have more fun in your lives. It's important. Step two, rewards. It's got some cool rewards for Iron Men specifically. You can, well, I mean, all accounts can get these, but there's some tradable rewards. Are they down at the bottom here? Something? Nope. You can get ornament kits for your armor and your gear. There's the crystal gear and whatever. There's a cool player-owned house recolor. Anyways, you can get those. So if you're an Iron Man, that's the only way to get them, is you got to play this game mode on your account. You could also probably buy the old rewards from previous Deadman, which those were pretty cool too. If you are a main account and you want to make some money, you are allowed, it's not against the rules, you're allowed to swap gold from Deadman mode to the regular game mode. So how does that work? Well, there's an economy in Deadman mode. It's more difficult to make money at the start of Deadman mode. So sometimes for the first few hours, 1,000, well, let's say 1,000,000 coins, you can trade it to a player and they will give you 100 million coins on the main game. It ends up being, after a few days, it ends up being about a 10-to-1 exchange rate. That's what it was in previous Deadman. This one might be very different. But eventually it ends up being closer to 1-to-1. Now, you can still make a crap load of money in Deadman mode because 1-to-1 exchange rate, when you're playing Deadman mode, the XP rates, the drop rates, everything is multiplied. So you could be making 15-20 mil cash per hour in Deadman mode, and if that exchanges to the main game for these 1-to-1 rate, you're making good money. Now that's just if you want to make money. The other way is you play the game, while you're playing you gain points, and then you trade those points for the rewards, and those rewards are tradable on the Grand Exchange. Some of these rewards from the last Deadman mode, I made hundreds of mils just from the points from the last Deadman mode. I didn't play it 16 hours a day for the entire event. I played it pretty well casually, a few hours a day. That's not really casual. A few hours a day, had fun with it, and then at the end I had a bunch of points. I bought all the stuff that I wanted, and then I sold off my extras, and I made a few hundred mil. I also swapped last Deadman mode. So I'm going to have a video about how to make cash in Deadman mode to swap. I'm going to make a full video of a starting route to start making some very good money. So I very much encourage you to subscribe if you want to see that. And then during the Deadman mode, I'm going to make some progress video thingies as well. So if you want to see Deadman progress and whatnot, then subscribe for that. So I'm here I'm putting myself in your shoes. I don't want to play Deadman mode. PKing freaks me out. I don't enjoy it. I get stressed. I panic, all that stuff. Here's all you need to do. In this Deadman mode, you only lose the items that you are wearing or in your inventory. So anything in your bank is now safe. That is such a huge change from previous Deadman modes that you should absolutely be playing it, basically. If you want to do some quests and you don't want to lose anything, just bring the bare minimum. If you want to do clue scrolls, just bring a spade and the clue. Very simple. So that's another big reason to play. That they've made a lot of other subtle changes that it just makes it easier for new players to get into this Deadman mode. And I very much encourage everyone to try it. You try it for a few hours, you don't like it, you log out. It's very simple. So, jumping into a few of these little things here, there's going to be a finale for this Deadman mode that we've just learned about. It is not 1v1s. You'll be teleported to this crater, and you'll be paired into 2 teams. It'll automatically sort you into 2 teams, probably red team, blue team, and you'll fight the other people until there's no one left, something like that. So I've never played a finale. I think I played 1 or 2 actually. There's been a lot, but I've never actually tried to win in them. I just go in with some silly gear and whatever and have fun. The finale is if you want to do it, you do it. If not, most people don't. You just You don't even bother. You just play the game for a little while, you make your money, and then that's it. You don't even log in for the finale, you just watch it on Twitch. Prizing, they're not giving cash prizes. They used to give like $10,000 cash to the winners, and they're not doing that anymore. So there's a points system in Deadman mode. When you do damage to NPCs, when you kill NPCs, you get points. When you complete clue scrolls, you get points. When you do achievement diaries, you get points. That'll be part of my like starting strategy, is to get some points by doing some simple tasks. Combat achievements are worth points too, which is crazy because Grandmaster tasks are over 75 points. Like, you want to build your points up quickly so that you can get some unlocks. So without going into too much detail here, one that caught my eye, challenge mode raids are 180 points. That is a lot of points. But then again, they take a lot longer than killing, I don't know, Duke a couple of times. So, and then there's multipliers for doing these for the first time. So if you do one challenge mode, you're getting 180 points times 5. It's almost 1,000 points. So what do I do with these points? Well, there's a shop that you can unlock bonuses. This is like leagues, or like Gridmaster if you played that recently. All of these unlocks will make your character stronger. Sigils, basically, is what they call them. And here's the list. This part, timestamp it, start of a new chapter. I'm going to read through quite a bit of this because this is what I want to focus on. These are the things that we're getting. So, number 1, you can see here, what are it's called skull points. How many skull points does it cost to unlock this thing? Now, is it a permanent unlock, or is it a attune unlock, or is it a toggle unlock, or is it a quest lamp? Very simply, permanent, that's pretty self-explanatory. Once you unlock this, you will have it forever. If you die, you still have it. If you can have all of them, basically. You can have all of these turned on at the same time, and there's no issues there. So that's very cool, because in previous Deadmans, you were only allowed 3, and you had to switch which ones you were using. So if I wanted to go do some fishing, I'd have to attune, I'd have to like turn all of my sigils off, and then put on the other ones that were like specific to fishing. If I wanted to go PKing, then I'd log all of the 3 big ones. Like, I'd put them all on, get the big 3 PKing ones on, whatever else. So now, permanent unlocks. These are amazing. You want to get your permanent unlocks early. That's essentially how it works. And there's going to be like strategy that I will definitely theory craft on which ones are best to buy early. So, permanent unlock of the Ruinous Powers for 5,000. I'm not going to unlock that early. That might be one of my last unlocks. The Ruinous Powers prayer book, it's better prayers. That's it. That's all you need to know. Deft strikes, so 30% more accuracy. That's pretty good. It's only 100 skull points. So if you look at the things from up here, all of these things give a bunch of skull points, and these are multiplied by 5. Like, you could just do 4 medium tasks, and you can unlock that one. Some other things. Levels. From level 1 to 49, you get 5 points per level. Just go chop some trees until you get 100 points, and then unlock whichever one you want here. This one, without a doubt, Alchemaniac. When casting high or low alchemy on a stack of items, the spell will automatically recast over time until the stack is depleted or moved. So that is going to be a huge meta to skip training magic, essentially. You're going to want to unlock this one once you've got 55 magic. Going to bring like a stat. Bring like 50 nature runes. That's all you need. And then go do your stuff. Like, go do your combat, and it'll alch 50 times. And then go to the bank, grab 50 more. Or if you're feeling risky, bring 250 nature runes. Like, nature runes are going to have such high value during this league because everyone's going to be running around alching. You can alch feathers for 1 coin. You don't need to have like expensive items to alch, so you can just alch feathers and whatever else. So yeah, these will be this is a good one for sure. Early, not first, but early. I skipped over a couple of these. So def strikes, 30% accuracy. Resistance, all attacks from monsters are reduced by 25%. Really nice one to get early as well, just to be a little bit tankier. Infernal Chef, so 50% chance to instantly cook fish that are caught while fishing. Like, if you're not going to skill, like if you're not going to do this, then don't bother unlocking it. It's simple. Save your points for later. But if that's part of your strat, go for it. Onslaught. This is if you do plan on doing some chinning or some barraging. then it increases how many monsters you can hit from 9 to 11. Not important early. Deception, actually low-key, very good. You could sit in a safe zone and just pickpocket monsters and stuff and make a bunch of cash. And you're fully safe, and then you can swap the cash for gold on the main game. If you wanted to do that. So this is the automatic re-pickpocket until you're unable to do so. And it also, you will not fail pickpocketing. So pretty interesting here. Another small one, you could do this with the ham members and get some easy clues, because clue scrolls give you points as well. So this is a new one. When you're within 10 tiles of your cannon will be automatically reloaded, basically. It's pretty cool. And again, very niche. If you're not using a cannon, you don't buy it. This one's nice. Faith, twice the number of prayer points when you do a prayer restoring pot. So like that's a good one to get out of the way early. I'll probably end up doing barrows early. That might be part of my strategy. So having that would be nice. Just getting double prayer points from each sip. Hoarding. 5x points from the following places: Wintertodt, Temperos, Guardians of the Rift, Golden Nuggets, Pizzazz, Tithe, Barbasalt, Brimhaven, Agility, Giants Foundry, Howl's Sepulchre, and Chompy Bird Hunting. I don't see any here that are actually super valuable, but like Temperos for fish, like people need food in Deadman mode, and if there's no like major source of food coming in, usually fish is very expensive early on. You can make a lot of money doing it. So there's definitely a strategy of like get to 35 fishing and then go to Temperos and unlock hoarding, and you'll just get so many supplies. And then also maybe Wintertodt would be good. Guardians of the Rift, maybe it's good for like getting runes, but I don't know. Lithness. 2x agility level as agility XP while running every 10 ticks. This is a good one to unlock early as well, because you will now get passive agility levels. And that's important for, there's some quests that you'll need agility, some shortcuts. Shortcuts can let you escape from PKers, which is good. And this basically gives you free points. Like you invest 250 points, and then every agility level gives you points back. So you might as well. Whew. Farming contracts. Nature lets you pick your own farming contracts. Farming patches will grow instantly and never catch diseases. So any like Ranar seeds, plant them, they instantly grow, turn them into prayer pots, sell them on the Grand Exchange, make a bunch of profit. Kind of a fun one. Marks of Grace. This is Agile Fortune. When they spawn, you get 10,000 coins with it, which is really good early cash. Really, really good. Most people, there's only like, you can only make like 10 to 30k cash per hour in the first few hours. When obtaining pyramid tops, you get 30k instead of 10k. So that's pretty cool. This is a new one, efficiency. When you fail to chop a tree or catch a fish, you have a 50% chance to succeed. So it buffs you by 50%. And you also get 2x resources for fishing, woodcutting, and farming. Kind of nice. So if you're skilling, that's very good. Hunter, so you get 3 Chinchampas. That's pretty good. People will want a chin for their range levels. Restoration. Upon a successful hit, you restore 10% of the damage dealt to your hit points. This works against both players and NPCs, but excludes multi-target attacks and special attacks. Insane that this works against players. Everyone needs this. Like, this is one that I will definitely prioritize early. Food is hard to come by. If I'm doing some barrows or I'm doing some Moons of Peril or whatever I'm doing, automatically restoring 10% of my HP is like, you'll be able to self-sustain in a lot of places, which is really good. So all of your food can be saved for when a PKer rolls up. Treasure Hunter. Clue scrolls are 3x more often, and they will give you a casket basically 75% of the time. If you complete one step, 75% chance that you get the reward casket right away, which is really fun. I'm going to just try and do this with masters. Just keep picking them up, wait until I get a master. Can I do it? No. All right, drop it. If I can, then I got a 75% chance of getting a casket. Food Master, 5% chance to not consume food. Pretty cool. But it's a permanent unlock, so like eventually you'll unlock this. Potion Master, 5% chance to not consume potions when using them. When the effect activates, it cannot be triggered again within 6 seconds. They should have put that same text on the one above. Yeah, these are just like things that you're going to want to have. Eventually, once you've got enough points, you just start buying them. Well-fed, 5% chance to gain double the HP when you eat food or potions. Again, another permanent unlock that you're just going to want to have. I will probably buy well-fed before I buy Food Master, because getting a double heal when you're getting attacked by PK would be like you could save yourself from getting KO'd. As opposed to this one would be for like outlasting a PK. Revoked limitation. Revenant weapon damage and accuracy bonuses are no longer restricted to the wilderness. So this is insane, basically. These Revenant weapons are so powerful, and this actually gives a reason for people to go kill Revs and try and get those weapons. So an early rush method could be try and go get your Rev weapons as fast as possible. You're going to make a lot of money. There's going to be a lot of PKs, but again, you only lose what you're wearing. So if you get a good drop, bank it and then go back. It's very simple. You need 100k to get into the Rev caves. So how are you going to make that first 100k? That's what you got to do. Meticulousness, 75% accuracy in all styles against NPCs. It is insane. It is so good. This is another early one that you want to buy if you're doing any sort of PVM at all. Sigil of Eternal Belief. This is a new one. Prayer does not drain naturally, but it can still be affected like Smite. Another one of those ones where like you gotta buy this. This is so good. Forcing a PKer to Smite is good because now when you're fighting back, you can do some damage to them and it messes them up. When you force a PKer to eat, you have a higher chance of escaping them. So that's one part. The other part, just being able to put Prey Melee up and sit in like a training zone and not have to prayer flick, amazing. Not having to bring a bunch of prayer pots, amazing. You're probably going to just need like a couple of brews, a couple of prayer pots, and a full inventory of food, and then any PK that comes up, you can escape them. Simple as that. Amazing. Titanium is another one of those amazing ones for 3,000 points. All attacks from monsters are reduced by 60%. You can basically tank anything you want. This, paired with another one that I saw later, is amazing. 60% damage reduction is so good. Conclusion. When killing an NPC, you get 10% of your spec back. The NPC must be within 15 tiles of you, and you can't have been in PvP for 24 seconds. So, just a lot of spec. If you're, like, there will be some cool metas for this or some whatever, but it's just bonus DPS. It's not, this is not something I'm prioritizing, personally, but there will have some very good uses for it. The Augmented Thrall is very underrated. Max hit of your Thrall multiplied by 5, and then Thrall's duration is doubled. It is quite good. So having them deal 15 damage, it's a lot of DPS. It's a lot of DPS. So that's all the permanent unlocks. You're going to want to buy all of these. So 5,000, 10,000, 15,000. It looks, just eyeballing it, it's about 20,000 points, maybe closer to 18,000 points to get all of those permanent unlocks. So when you look back at, you know, all the different things that you can do, like a challenge mode raid, just by completing it, you get close to 1,000 points. So then you can instantly buy something really good, like, where's the prayer one? Unlimited prayer, something like that. You're quite, yeah, it's 2,000 points for that. So you could get that very quickly, very early on, and then just the world's your oyster. You've got unlimited prayer. Okay, these are combat-based ones that you attune to yourself. So you can only have 3 of these active at a time. So keep that in mind. So there's ones that you can pair up that makes them more powerful, and there's some that you can't pair up, that they just say that, no, you can't put these together, it'd be too OP. Specialized Strikes. So activate the sigil to reduce the cost of your next spec by that. If it costs more than 10% spec, it will reduce your spec by 10%. So a DDS, instead of 25, it will be 15. Very simple. It lasts for 12 seconds, and then it has a 10-second cooldown. So it's not permanent, it's not unlimited. When you go to dump your DDS specs, you click on this sigil in your inventory, and now your specs will be cheaper. So that's kind of nice. This one, consistency. Every attack does 1 more damage to the target. This is a very simple, cheap one. Like, don't worry about that. Light Bearer. It will restore your spec twice as fast. If you have a Light Bearer the Ring equipped also, you're getting 10 spec every 10 seconds, which is a lot of spec. Meticulous Mage. Yeah, your magic accuracy is increased by plus 40, and you have a 50% chance of saving runes or staff charges when using magic. So pair this 50% chance of saving runes with the Alchemaniac one, and you'll be able to train mage very easily and for a cheap amount of money, basically. Rigorous Ranger. Your range accuracy is increased by plus 20, and you have a 50% chance of saving your ammo. So that's nice. Barrows. Prevent your Barrows armor from degrading. Doesn't matter. Plus 40% accuracy to attacks from Barrow's weaponry against players and NPCs. So full Darox, you're going to want the Barrow's one equipped. Plus 40 accuracy. It also gives the Amulet of the Damned effect. So I'm not going to get into all that, but basically it just makes Barrow's gear really good. It's not that good, but it's niche. So finality. Activate the Sigil to guarantee 100% accuracy on your next spec. You got 12 seconds to do so, and then it cools down. So that's another one of those cool ones where you click on it to activate it. Yeah, this would be good when you're like, I'm about to AGS. You just click on this thing, and then you spec with your AGS. And it's 100% accurate, which is quite crazy. Formidable Fighter. Your melee accuracy is increased by plus 30 in Stab, Slash, and Crush. Upon a successful hit, you have a 30% chance for your next hit to deal plus 10 damage. And then it does not apply to specs. 10%, 10-second cooldown. So this is a really good one. Yeah, when you do like a claw spec, it hits 4 times. So you're multiplying 30% chance 4 times, which is really good. And then you're basically guaranteeing your next hit to have a plus 10 damage. So that's really good. Now, there was a thing that I read later on here. The max hit for a single damage splat from anything in this is 85. So in the main game, you can hit higher than 85. In Deadman mode, you could find a way to parlay all of these sigils together to hit over 100 with an Armadyl Godsword spec. So they had to put a cap on it. 85 is the cap. So this plus 10 is really, really good, but it'll be irrelevant if you're hitting that cap anyways. Now, they removed the cap for full Darox, apparently. So, something to note. Fortification. Your defense is increased by plus 50 for Stab, Slash, Crush, and Range. This is a nice one. Like, if you... So, there's this one here is really good for, like, oh, I'm not trying to kill people, I'm trying to survive. Put this one on. Plus 50 range defense. Very good. Menacing Mage was one of my favorites, because it just heals you a ton. Now, there is the other sigil above that heals you as well, but yeah, this will deal 15% chance to deal 18 damage over the next 6 seconds, and it heals you for 18. So you're just like constantly getting these heals from magic. I would go to breaches in Deadman mode. I didn't talk about breaches, but I would go to these breaches, and it's like a bunch of monsters spawning, and you kill them for points and drops, and it happens every 6 hours. I'd go to breaches and I'd have Menacing Mage and I just wouldn't need food. Porcupine, another one for escaping. When you have this active, it deals 4 damage to whoever's attacking you for every damage you take. So if they're trying to mess you up, then this thing hits them back. They're eventually going to have to eat. Otherwise, you just chisel their health down to like a 60 and then put on an AGS and spec them. So that's pretty fun. Ruthless Ranger. Yeah, same thing. Range damage, you have a 50% chance to cripple the target's movement. The effect deals 15 damage over the next 6 seconds and drains a total of 15 run energy. It's doubled if they have no run energy. So there's a way you can drain their run and then hit this and it'll do 30 damage. Anyways, Sigil of the Gods. This is new. This is going to be very, very good on the pure bracket worlds. So there's different worlds for combat levels. So if you're between level like 60... and well, 3 and 60, you're in one world. 60 and 90 is another world, something like that. So in that low bracket, these will be so good. Flames of Zami will have a 10% chance to cause a burn effect, so it'll start burning them for extra damage. Claws of Guthix will lower the target's defense equal to 50% of the damage dealt. So if they've got 50 defense and you hit a 40, then they will have 30 defense. So you're just slowly chipping away at their defense level. And it can stack. So they can get all the way down to 0 defense. Saradomin Strike smites them for 30% of the damage done. Smite is just, it's good for dropping their prayer, and then you can go in with some other specs, but it's not going to smite their protect item. Pious Protection is an expensive one, 3,000. Why is this so expensive? It decreases the amount of damage that you take from attacks of a given combat style by 35% when you use the correct protection for that style. So we already have a way of protecting 60% of all NPC damage. Just flat 60% reduction. So instead of them being able to hit a 50, they can only hit a 30. Damn it, that's the wrong number. It's 20, isn't it? I don't know. I'm at. Do not just delete that out of the. So yeah, it reduced, and then this reduces it further. So you could really be taking minimal damage when you're in PVM. In PvP, if you get your prayer right, you're taking a lot less damage too, which is really nice. But you have to be good at switching your prayers. But the problem is it'll increase by 5% if you're on the wrong thing, which is minimal. That might be 5 damage tops. Adroit, another expensive one, increases your accuracy by 1% for every hit point you're missing, for players and NPCs. That means if your max HP is 99 and you're at 50, you're missing 49 HP. That's a plus 49% accuracy. If you're below 20 health, the accuracy multiplier is 2 instead of 1. So I'm already picturing, I'm going to buy Adroit. I am going to buy Pious Protection, and I'm going to have the one that makes it so I take 60%. I think it was Titanium. So I'm going to take way less damage per hit splat, and the lower my HP, the more accurate I am. I can sit below 20 HP in a raid, in a Chambers of Xeric raid. I know that Olm's max hit is going to be around 35. So with all of these reductions, he can't hit at 20. So I'll sit below 20. If I drop to, if he hits me and I'm down to 4 HP or something, I'll sip a brew. It's going to be fun, like risky content for getting a ton of accuracy out of it. The accuracy might be completely irrelevant, but it's just going to be fun to do. So I look forward to trying that. Arcane Swiftness. The attack of all magic weapons with a base attack speed above 4 will be reduced by 1. So Ice Barrage, instead of it being 5 tick, it's 4 tick. Rune Crossbow, instead of 5, is 4. And Osmumten's Fang, instead of 5, is 4. That's what Arcane Swiftness, Gunslinger, and Swashbuckler will be all about. Eventually, you want to buy one of these. It's just a flat 20% buff to whatever combat style you're using. So buy the one that you think you're actually going to use the most. And eventually you'll buy all 3, but this is a priority item for sure. Aggression. All attacks deal 10% more damage. Simple as that. Very simple. 10,000 points for 10% damage. Rampage. When you alternate your combat styles against a player, oh, maybe it doesn't even say it has to be a player. I wonder if it works against NPCs. But anyways, alternating your combat styles will increase your rampage count. So it increases your damage and accuracy by 7%. So you can go 7%, 14%. You can get 14% increased damage and accuracy, which is better than 10%. But you have to alternate your styles. So you go range, mage, melee, mage, range, mage, something like that. And then it'll eventually reset and blah, blah, blah. It does not stack with aggression. So 14%. Remote storage. So here's some cheap ones that are toggleable. So this is something like you can turn it off if you don't want it anymore. Resources gathered from mining, fishing, woodcutting, and farming will be automatically noted and placed in your looting bag or inventory. Enhanced Harvest. You always gain 3x resources from mining, fishing, woodcutting, and farming. So you can pair a couple of these skilling ones up and get some really good skilling supplies. Slaughter. Pay 45 Slayer points to choose your own non-boss specific Slayer task. Double the chance of a superior. And you'll have a 25% chance for a Slayer task kill to not count towards the task while still getting Slayer XP. Yada, yada, yada. Okay. I'm gonna say this is the meta. Pay 45 Slayer points, pick a Revenant's task. When you're on a Rev's task in the wilderness, you get 5x the drop rate, I believe it is, for a Revenant weapon. Plus, we're already at 5x drop rates in this mode. And then the Revenant weapons work everywhere in the world. So you can use a crossbow at Zuck. You can use a Vigor's chain mace at Jad. Like, I don't know. You can use these things all over the place. Insane. So that's the strategy right there. You buy Slaughter, you pick a Rev's task, you go kill Revs, you get a Rev weapon, and then boom, you've got it. And then profit and something. Woodcraft. Instead of saving logs when chopping a tree, you get the planks. It requires 50 GP per plank. Yada, yada, yada. Interesting. So you need cash in your inventory to do it. This is super irrelevant. But again, leveling up your construction will be good for points. So you might as well do it. Devotion. Dropped bones are automatically buried. Ashes are automatically scattered. Prayer XP gained from these activities increased by 200%. So just to train your prayer, that's what you're going to want to do. Now here's the lamps. Auto-complete an entire quest line. Some pretty cheap one here. The Fremenic one. The Elf one up to Roving Elves. The most expensive one is Desert... what is it? Desert Treasure 2, yeah. Up to and including Secrets of the North. Oh! So it doesn't complete Desert Treasure 2. Okay, so anyways, this is personal preference. Whatever you want to do for, I don't know, making money. Like if you want to kill Monkey Madness 2, if you want to kill some Rune Dragons, then you can unlock this one. That's not Monkey Madness 2, that's Dragon Slayer 2. I'm an idiot. This would be Demonic Gorillas. Monkey Madness 2. If you want to go kill Demonic Gorillas, you just pay this, auto-completes the quest, go do it. You can complete the quests yourselves, and it will give you the XP drops, which might be worth it in certain cases. But I will not be doing quests unless I have to. So that's kind of where we're at with that. Very fun. So that's all the sigils. There's going to be some really good things in there. Last few things that I'll cover. They've, Ruinous Powers or the prayers. They're going to be really good. Deadman's chest mechanics. This is when you kill a monster with 30 HP or more. There's a rare chance that it will spawn a giant chest. Like, look at this chest. Like, it's a physical that looks like a 2x2 big chest that you would then open. So it's going to be, first off, I'm expecting this to be a hot topic. I'll put it that way. There's going to be some like issues with this, some glitches. That you killed a monster in a spot that's not big enough, so the chest just can't spawn. They've done everything, but maybe they're ahead of the ball and they're able to fix these. So here's how it works: when you kill a monster, like let's say I'm killing hill giants, and it's got 30 HP, so it qualifies. So it's got a 1 in 10,000 chance that it spawns a Deadman's chest. So it spawns, and I now click it, and it takes 60 seconds to open if I'm in single combat. It doesn't take a requirement for thieving level. It's not going to go faster or slower or anything like that with a lockpick. If it's multi-combat, it takes 30 seconds. An enemy will be spawned alongside the chest who you'll likely want to deal with before opening the chest. When you're attempting to open the chest, any form of combat, PVM and PvP, will interrupt you and reset the timer. Same thing with inventory actions like eating or drinking potions. So that's the part that I think is going to be bad. You really need to go find a spot where there's absolutely nobody to just farm these things. Like, I'm trying to think, like, it's 30 hit points. Usually, it scales based on how many hit points they have. So when you're killing a monster with a lot of HP, it's good. And then you can do that. But, like, getting interrupted by PVM and PvP is going to be really bad. Because anybody can just roll up and just attack you once, and it resets your timer. So, interesting. They can't spawn in instances. For some NPCs where spawns would likely be impossible to open, the chest will spawn outside the area. Scurious, Dagonoth Kings, God Wars, Scorpia, KBD. So, you need to be risking 100k to open the chest. I feel like most people will be, so that's fine. But they just wanted to discourage people from, like, literally going with absolutely nothing and just punching. Like, bots could just, like, I don't know, punch some level 30 HP monsters. If you have immunity or PvP protection, you won't be able to open the chest. So you get immunity when you level up brackets, where people can't attack you for a certain amount of time. So, something to think about. First player to open the chest will receive one of the following. The first player to open the chest will receive a guaranteed drop in any of the following. First player. Is that, like, does that mean the first player ever in Deadman mode? Does that mean the first player per chest? Like, can't you only open them once? So why are we saying first? I need some specification on this. Anyways, this is what you can get from it. Trinket of Advanced Weaponry. So that can give you a Corrupted Twisted Bow. It's a T-bow, but like 80% damage. Shadow, 80% damage. Claws, AGS, Dark Bow, Nightmare Staff, Volatile Orb, I believe. Trinket of the Undead. So that's a thing that you click and it spawns a Thrall. You don't need to be on the Thrall spellbook. Morgan's Throwing Axe. These are pretty good. Morgan's Javelins. These are very good. Any piece of Ancient Warrior's armor. So Vesta, Statius, Morgans, or Zuriel's. Pretty good. Thunder Kopesh. Dog Sword. I can't help but notice they say the armor for the Ancient Warriors, not the weapons. So you can't get a Vesta's longsword from one of these chests. It sounds like you can only get that from Breach. Interesting to note. So, lots of other gameplay changes. Auto-completed quests. If you're trying to do a strat, that's what's auto-completed. One of the biggest things is like being able to go into raids while in combat, because I can actually now do raids. I can go to Chambers of Zarek, and when you finish your raid, you end up outside. I can just run straight back in. And if I'm getting attacked, I just need to tank that first ice barrage, and then I make it back in. Same with TOB, same with TOA. So that's really good. Tells you what you spawn with off of Tutorial Island. Tells you some global loot table stuff. So it's just going to drop some stuff for you. Like anything you kill outside of an instance will be able to drop all of these things like that. Like Mystic Robe Top and Bottom, Gems, Cannonballs, Mage's Book, Master Wand, stuff like that. And any piece of the Ancient Warrior Armor. Like, you could just get an Ancient Warrior Armor piece whenever. So, pretty cool. Yeah, there's just, like, a lot of things in here that I really, like, we don't have time. I've already taken up a lot of your time. If you've made it this far, thank you so much. Subscribe, like, put a comment. What's your plan for Deadman mode? I have my plan. I don't know if I want to share it with the world. I'm going to make a starting strategy on like how to quickly get to the second bracket and quickly unlock your sigils that you want and things like that. I want to farm Deadman mode for GP, basically. I want to make a lot of money. And I've got my eyes set on the doom of Moki Hoidle, because those boots are going to be so good. And the bracelet. What is it called? But there's like, this won't autocomplete. This won't autocomplete them. There's no lamp for autocompleting those quests in Varlamore. So I got to look into that. Like, am I blind? First off, maybe it's hidden in one of these, but also I might just have to do some quests. So anyways, look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks for watching. And Bob is your uncle, probably. If your uncle's name's Bob, then you're, yeah, okay, whatever.